We got fed up of being sidemen for Paul. After Brian died, that's what began to happen to us, you know. After Brian died, we collapsed. Paul took over and supposedly led us, you know. But what is leading us when we went round in circles? We broke up then. That was the disintegration, you know. The Beatles broke up
Upon before
after Brian died.
We took a break was you said, you know, when the band broke up, when the Beatles actually broke up. Did you think at that point that that was pretty much the end of your career? I mean, did you know, because you put out a couple of albums within that year when you broke up?
I did, but no, when it broke up, I mean, me personally, I sat in the garden saying, oh, what'll I do now? And, you know, it was a bit of a drag. It broke up, even though we all wanted it. I mean, we had been working steady for 8 years, and we'd been these brothers, and, you know, suddenly, like, that was over, and it was like,
Why did they want it? Do you know?
why? No, because we all wanted it,
Oh,
because we'd all grown up a little more, and we weren't prepared to put in the time and energy for each other.
And let's get to something else.
When you, if you and John and Yoko do meet, though, you're not really gritting your teeth.
No, we're good friends.
Yeah. Well, all of that about her being the problem with the group, is that slightly silly that one woman could be so much of a problem?
No, the group had problems long before Yoko came along. Many problems, folks.
Can you remember who was the first to say, you know, I bet we'll break up one day, that this won't go on, that this is sort of a dream, that we can't all stick together?
I don't really remember anything about the Beatle days. It seems like a sort of, you know, previous incarnation when I think about it.
And a long time ago, like another life?
Yeah.
Do you regret any of it?
No, don't regret really anything, you know. I mean, that's what happened, and it was good, you know, it was good, but it was also good to carry on, do something else. In fact, it was a relief.
Sometimes they say you...
Some people can't understand that, you know, because Beatles was such a big deal. They can't understand why we should actually enjoy splitting up. But there's a time, you know, there's a time when people grow up and they leave home or whatever they do, and they go for a change, you know, and it was really time for a change.
Don't you think a lot of people just envied the idea of being world celebrities, though? And being
some people, you know, would go on and on forever singing the same tune and playing the same gig if they were making some money, you know. But I think we'd all rather give that up and try going on our own and try doing something we really want to do. And if we don't make it, then hard luck. But as it happens, we've all got such a lot of like goodwill hanging over from being Beatles. I mean, you probably wouldn't have me on the show if I hadn't have been one. Let's face it.
No, you wouldn't get here on looks alone.
You know how many theories there are about why the Beatles broke up. I bet you, how many have you heard? 35?
One or two.
You got too rich, you got too isolated, you got too tired. Lennon got too radical. What's your version?
That we'd come full circle. It was actually kind of a 10-year period, the main thing. It was a surprisingly short time, really, I thought. But we started off in Liverpool, and we wanted to go and be famous, wanted to write a lot of songs and have a lot of success everywhere, which is basically everyone's aim. You know, any group starts up, that's pretty much what they all want. So we wanted to do that. Once we'd done that, and once we'd conquered places like North America and stuff like that, I think we began to feel that we'd done it, and that all we were now going to go into was just do it twice. And for the Beatles and the whole thing, I think people started to think, we don't really want to do that. And I think the other factor was that we were also getting to the age when most people leave the army and get married, or leave the club.
You're bringing in the wicked women here. The wicked women who broke up the Beatles.
Let's bring them in. Bring in the broads. No, so I think the point was that during the Beatles was the only relationship we were really had time for. And we tried other relationships, but, you know, they'd end in divorces for the other guys, and breakups and stuff. Because you couldn't really compete. No women could compete with the Beatles.
That was just a joke, bringing the broads.